My contribution to the Outlaw Ocean project, the Scenes from the Ocean album, is a roller coaster of emotions. It is a seamless concept album, by which I mean that the whole album feels like one very lengthy song, and the tracks change in a way where the music just flows into the next one, and you won't even notice that you're now in the next track. This gives the album the feel of an epic journey, which reflects the adventurous nature of Ian's trips around the world. Through this sonic adventure, the album conveys feelings of sadness, despair, fear, anger, but also hope, mystery, vastness, epicness, and confronting the unknown, and ultimately overcoming difficult human struggles. The cornerstone for my contribution to the Outlaw Ocean project, the Scenes from the Ocean album, was the sound archive Ian Urbina sent me, which mostly consisted of sounds he had recorded while doing the reporting from around the oceans of the world. I utilized them to give this organic and found sound aesthetic for the music. I used them the most heavily in the interludes between the scenes, as I call the main tracks. In those interlude tracks, I heavily used Ian's sounds to create these ambient sound collages that deepen the album and the story in an important way and bridges all the scenes together. I used the sounds in a way where I sometimes put them in as is with some minor edits, while sometimes I used them heavily edited and manipulated as raw material for completely new sounds, which were more tonal and that I could create melody and harmony with. These sounds still carry the initial sonic footprint from Ian's recordings, and that way I could have the found sound aesthetic bleed into the music itself. The creation process of this album was a multi-year project and required a lot of marinating and taking breaks from it to find new perspectives and ideas. I made the album in just 2 project files, one for the first half and one for the second half of the album. That was a crucial workflow aspect for me, since it allowed me to create this continuous journey where the tracks just seamlessly flow into each other and really take the listener for a deep dive into the world of the Outlaw Ocean. Probably the biggest impact for me was the realization that the crisis in the oceans is not only an ecological and environmental one, but it's also a humanitarian crisis. Like Ian says, do the people matter as much as the fish? We need to solve this problem not only because of overfishing and oil dumping, which needless to say are severe issues, but also for the human rights for the people who end up on these ships. Environmentally, it was shocking to learn that every year more oil is dumped in the ocean than the BP spill, which got big media attention back in the day. On a human level though, the most shocking story, and that was also tough to watch, was the murder caught on camera, where 2 men with semi-automatic weapons shot someone who was trying to escape and was swimming away from the ship. Afterwards, the perpetrators were just casually taking selfies like it was nothing. This was quite a challenging album to make, but also artistically very rewarding. From the transformation of Ian's sound bank into the music and managing the vastness of the project were challenges in their own rights. The composition of the various sections was also quite challenging, since their structure was quite unusual and progressive, but that's also what made it exciting. The project required a lot of thought and digestion, but I'm really happy how it turned out.